I have an Instagram and YouTube Love Sugar Show. So I want to thank you both for taking the time for joining me for the interview.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Of course. And I'll have you guys introduce yourself to the audience so they can get to know you as well.
My name is Ryan. No one knows that. This is an unveiling, but I play guitar and I sing in the band Yeti on Horseback, and I have for what feels like the majority of my life now. The only band I've ever been in, and it's always been a passion project, and that's who I am. They call me the founding father now because there's been some new members and some sliding doors, but I'm the one constant.
Awesome. And I'll have you go next.
I'm Sam. I yell angrily at the world in Yeti on Horseback. And on the album, we did some experimental soundscapes as well. That was a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Awesome. And I have to say, I love the band name Yeti on a Horseback because I love Yetis and I just can imagine it on a horseback and it just makes me really happy. So I love the band name.
I'm, I'm glad you like it because a lot of people don't at all.
They're missing out. They need to find the happiness in it. I love it.
I don't know if it's too scary or not. But yeah, it's a good name. It definitely gets people thinking or chatting.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
I think so too.
So the first question that I ask anyone that I ever interview is how's everything going in your world, not just musically, but also in your personal life as well, because that's important too.
Oh well, like any other person, ups and downs and in betweens, but I'm on the right side of the grass. So I don't know. I'd say things are going pretty good. I could sit here and complain about small things, but in the big picture, I'd say life is great.
That's awesome. And I'll have you go next, Sam.
Yeah, no, it's been a surreal experience lately with all of the music and playing a lot. And, life is great. I'd have to agree with Ryan there. It's been a good year so far.
Well, I know the band's most exciting part is when the album is finally finished and you have a release date and you just wait for it to finally be released out into the world. How do you feel now that it's like completely done?
Um, yeah, feel great. It took a long time. We all are adults, aging adults with lots of responsibilities, but music is always going to be part of it, and we're slowly figuring it out. But now that it's coming out and there's a little bit of buzz and you get to see the fruits of your labor, it's pretty awesome. I love it. And I'm going to do it again soon and probably quicker.
Awesome, awesome. And how do you feel about that, Sam?
I'm quite stoked on it. The final product was just so cool to hear and hold in our hands, and just all of the efforts and years of work on it. Just it's unbelievable to have completed, and I think I'm most excited to move on to the next one and get that ready and out for release.
Wow, that's exciting that you guys are already ready for the next one.
Almost.
Well,
We're
for
ready on horseback.
and for this album, I know the band said that this is easily the best work to date as a rising tide lifts all ships. Can you tell me what you meant by that? And maybe like what you meant by like when you said like it's easily the best work up to date, like why do you think that in your opinion?
I'm pretty sure I'm the one who said that, so I should probably, yeah. What did I mean by that? No, what I meant was having Sam come in, um, and just kind of show us a professionalism because he's been in bands for quite some time, and we all kind of looked up to him, and now he's part of this band, so he would be part of the rising tide.
Mhm.
The producer that we chose to work with. Again, just a professional man, um, who's worked with tons of bands in the past and got the best out of us, challenged us.
Hmm.
Um, what we had done before was, we were still in our infancy and we were learning, and we still are, but that's what I meant by that is the new members, even like this is our first album with our new drummer, but who's been in the band for 10 years. And this is our first album with our new bass player who's been in the band for 8 years, so it's
Yeah.
kind of a new band, but still the same band.
And what is your take on those words, Sam?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled to have been invited to take part in this. It was a really fun journey writing and exploring the lyrical content, and these guys have been probably my favorite band in the city for a decade, and to now
Wow.
share the stage and create with them, it's been something truly special. And yeah, it's just I think we're all very proud of it.
Well, that's awesome. I know some more words from it just said the band, so I don't know who said it, but it says it's a natural progression from our previous work and shows where the band is heading. So I'm curious to hear from both of you. Where do you want the band to head and where do you think it's heading?
Where do I want it to head is just the same direction we've been going, which is just creating music that we are proud of. And personally, I'd like to just get it out a little bit sooner. It is hard, and but I think I've learned so much this last one. And if you're in the right hands with the right people, you can really create. And yeah, where it's headed is where it's always been headed, and that's down a slippery slope and scary, and it's traumatic and it's sad, and it's kind of how it's my self-medication.
Yeah. And how about you, Sam?
Yeah, I think there's as far as the songwriting, these guys have come so far, and it's a more definitely like sophomore and calculated approach. There's a lot of rehearsing and a lot of input and just harnessing the craft that's going into these songs and really trying to make the listener as well as us feel something that's between just the notes and the lyrical content. It's trying to make it a full experience. That's something powerful.
Hmm. And you mentioned wanting the listener to hear or and also feel something in it. So I'm curious from both of you, like what kind of emotions were you putting into this album?
um it's the emotions that every song or every album, whatever you want to call it, it just
Hmm.
kind of something that I just play it. I feel it. I have to feel it. So I know it's gonna be felt by others. It's not a mathematical thing. There's not much science to it. The music that I know how to make is based on feeling.
Hmm.
I even have all these like I'm still trying to learn how to play the guitar. So there you go.
That is a fun thing to do for sure. Good luck. How about you, Sam?
I mean, as far as a writing standpoint, I kind of just pepper in input when asked, or like I mostly contribute lyrically, but I think I know Ryan appreciates notes or input whenever I can.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, he's definitely just got this natural feel for it's a very unconventional like it reminds me of somehow like 70s prog mixed with hip hop, but still doom. And I don't understand it, and I love it.
That's
Hey, so
horrible.
sometimes the best music are, sometimes you don't have to understand it. I mean, sometimes it's just like a feeling, I think, with music as well. And
Definitely.
I think that's something you definitely feel with this album. Like when I listen to it, you can feel like the passion and, that it wasn't just put together really quick because there was an album that needed to be done. Like you can feel the passion and also like the love that went into making it. Is that something that you wanted to, I guess, have the listener hear as well?
I don't know about want. It was just bound to happen because that's what it was for us. Like we went in, I know it's gonna sound funny but we went in one person and came out another. Like I personally did. I changed, I grew, I shed some skin, and now a new snake. That happened. Like that was a true to life event, and it will probably happen again because that's what we're always doing. We're always changing as humans, and I don't know when you're creating something,
Hmm.
it's you're gonna feel it. You're gonna know what's happening.
And if you don't change, that says something about you. We should always be changing for better.
I think so too. And sometimes with music, people don't want you to change, and I don't think we'll change the core of what it is, like that feeling, that passion, that emotion. Because I personally wouldn't know how to make music that wasn't that.
Yeah. And how about you, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of love, anger, passion. Um, just there it was a really powerful recording session. Like I only was there for I think it was 3 days near the end, but um, I think it was 3 days, right, Ryan?
Yeah, yeah.
And just heavy sessions all day of just yelling and trying not to lose my voice and still
Yeah.
giving it 100% each time. And it was quite powerful. It was I think you're onto something when you say like, yeah, it was transformative because you go into these things knowing you have to do it, but not necessarily knowing how you're going to do it, and you kind of have this elated feeling once it's done, and it's like, holy, we actually just did that. That was awesome.
Yeah. There's nothing like having the finished product so you can see, all the time, all the effort, all the energy. Like you finally have something that you can look at and see, which is awesome.
True.
And I'm curious, did you try anything new on this album that maybe you haven't done before, or maybe something you were unsure of, but you wanted to try it anyway?
Well, we certainly did by having another vocalist on the previous album. It was just me, and I kind of just, I wanted to be a singer in a band. I wanted to be a guitar player in a band, but maybe I didn't know how to do either of those things. But eventually, I figured it out. But and
Mhm.
I always knew I wanted another singer, like somebody who could help or, take the reins, either or. You just want different textures in the music. So
Mhm.
like Sam said, like he was only there for 3 days and he laid his vocals down first and then he left. And then I was there by myself and I thought I was just going to do what I always did. But as you're listening to it and you've seen what he's done, I knew that things had to change, so I had to do a different vocal delivery or try something new. Probably
Mhm.
every single one of those songs was kind of vocally written on the fly,
Oh, wow.
which sounds crazy, but that's kind of how it went down. Like I knew the words and I knew how I wanted it to sound, but he had
Yeah.
already he had already done all the he'd laid all the foundation. All that was already done. So then I just tried to give it some texture and pepper in different ways.
And Sam, how do you feel being like a part of like something that was new on this album?
Um, I mean, I first off, I was honored. Um, like, I think I said before, I looked up and loved these guys for so many years. It was a privilege to be asked and be a part of. But I definitely came into it wanting to add something that would complement and not
Mhm.
take away at the same time. And then working with Greg and kind of like structuring layers of like highs and lows and, you know, kind of knowing what Ryan was doing, but not entirely because he did all of most of his stuff after. Like I think we did Drug Addict where I was like, that was the song you had already had all of the vocals placed, and I was like, okay, can you do that so I know what I'm doing here? Because I was just we hadn't really rehearsed it a whole lot live before,
Yeah.
so he went in and did like this insane one take vocal run and
Oh, wow.
I remember just being upstairs, like grinning ear to ear the whole time, being like, I don't know what this guy's worried about. That was insane. um, and then, yeah, just, figuring out the highs and the lows, the layers. Because Sean has some like scream singing as well in there. Um, and then, yeah, just trying to add the best possible thing to this already amazingly heavy album.
And I'm curious, for someone who hasn't listened to it, which is quite a few people since it's not out yet, how would you describe this album to them?
I always try and just describe our music, and I don't know. I always just say it's heavy. It's heavy and it's slow, and you're probably not going to like it. That's what I say to people that don't listen to metal. And then when it is someone who does listen to metal, say, I go, well, it's the same thing. It's heavy and it's slow. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
It's definitely heavy and it's emotional. And I do say I use those words, and I don't try and get into genres or subgenres because I don't even know if I would know what those are. So I'm not gonna call it funeral doom, or there's psychedelic elements sometimes, but it's just heavy. That's what I call it, heavy.
And to be fair, there are so many genres. Like there's, like black metal, and then there's subgenres of that, and doom metal, and all this other stuff. I'm like, I can't keep up with all of these.
You don't want to get lost in the sauce. If you can just, a couple like buzzwords, heavy, emotional, slow, and if somebody hears those words and says, "Oh, you know what? I might want to hear that," or they go, "Whoa, I'm not into slow. I'm not going to listen to anything slow." Okay, well then, at least I told you.
Yes. How about you, Sam? How would you describe this album to someone?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely heavy. It's probably the heaviest thing I've ever been a part of. Um, it's visceral, it's emotional, it's uncomfortable. It like lyrically, it can really hit close to home as far as like the addiction, the trauma aspect of the lyrical themes.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it was something we all wanted to make real, like something everyone could relate to.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, it's just it's almost kind of a trancy doom album, if that makes any sense. Like you kind of get hypnotized a bit and lost in it, and they're long songs, but they don't necessarily feel that long.
Yeah. And I definitely agree with what you both said. I kind of like it slow because there's other bands that do faster stuff, but sometimes you just want to chill and listen to something slower but still heavy because you have that heavy metal soul.
Hmm.
So talking about souls, I'm curious, what song would you say is like the heart of the album, like that brings it all together?
Well, probably the closing track, "Erotic Goth Dad," would be, you know, that's the hit. That's the single. or
Mm-hmm.
that's how I see it. It's kind of a, like drug addict that was written quite a long time ago, but you had never heard it, and a lot of people had never heard it unless you came to see us in a small town in Canada. So,
Mm-hmm.
that would be the first song that was written on that album, and then Erotic Goth Dad would be the last one that was written. So you kind of get that, that time and space. But yeah, Erotic Goth Dad, just even people that don't like heavy or slow or emotional, they seem to bob their head, and then the song's over and they'll leave the room and they'll be whistling it. Like it's definitely, it's got power.
I love that song title. When I saw it, I was like, okay, I need to know what this song is like because the title is amazing.
Yeah, you can get people with a good title that, and for that song, like I used to write a bunch of poetry down in a book, and that would work. But eventually, we would just be jamming, and certain things would I would just say certain things. Like I didn't plan on saying erotic goth dad at all. I had zero plan on saying that, but I did, and then we laughed at it, and we kept on. Then it just became what it was.
Well, I'm glad that you guys laughed at it too, because like when I saw it, I'm like, that's a fun album. It sounds like a fun album, and then I read the titles of the songs, and I'm like, this is gonna be a good one. And I was right. So.
Perfect.
How about you, Sam? What song is the heart of the album, and why would you choose that song?
I keep kind of flip-flopping between the last two songs. It's definitely between Erotic Goth Dad and then Through with This Flesh. Um,
Okay.
and I can't really decide. It's just that they both really feel so intense, and yeah, definitely those two, the back half of the album.
Okay, awesome. And I like how you both said like the same song, so I think that's definitely the one that's gonna be the heart for right now.
Yeah, that's why we put it out, and we hope that people, have been listening to it. It's on the streaming services, and you can listen to it on YouTube, and I think it's a good if you have never heard our band, it's a good invitation into the band, because that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be, oh, erotic got that, that's kind of funny, and then you listen to it and go, well, there's nothing funny about that at all.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta get them in with the hook, and then they kind of wanna, start listening, and then by the end, they're listening to the whole album. So,
That's right.
and when you were creating the album, how do you decide like how long each song's gonna be, or how do you know, this is enough lyrics, or I need to put more, less? Or how do you stop yourself or add more? What's that creative process look like?
Well, if you were to look at the track times, you would say these people don't stop themselves. But I've always liked a longer song. Like I do listen to progressive rock, and like Close to the Edge is 18 minutes long, and I never felt like that was long, and I didn't think I was being, naughty listening to something long. But we
Hmm.
have been we have been writing shorter things, here and there, because it is hard to fit into a set list sometimes. Like, okay, you have 30 minutes. It's like, okay, well, that's one and a half songs. How do we do this?
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of it's just like this riff goes into this riff, and some people would only play that four times. Well, I think we should play it 14.
Hmm.
It's kind of, that's how it goes. And as for the lyrics, I think the music usually comes first, and then we do have a book of lyrics, or you had something in mind, and you just kind of try and finish your thought within the music that you have laid down.
And how about you, Sam? What's your creative process?
Definitely when when I'm learning the song or we're writing the song, we kind of figure out how long everything is, get a subject in mind, and then I start writing out a bunch of stuff,
Hmm.
and I'll either trim it down, make it more coherent, adjust it, as far as like phrasing, because a lot of the vocals are like I approach as like a percussive manner. So
Hmm.
like, this many syllables or this sound sounds better here. So you try and work around that while still creating something that's moderately horrific as far as content goes. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it for me. These guys do most of the work.
That's always nice, right?
Yeah, it's a nice change from the other projects I've been in.
Yeah.
And I have one last question for you both. Is there anything you'd like to say to old fans, new fans, or anyone interested in listening to this album?
Hmm. Well, old fans, they get it. They already know what's up. New fans, thank you, because they're not the easiest people to get. And what was the last part of that question?
Anyone interested in listening to the album?
Well, I think you should listen to it because that's what everybody's doing all day. We're all listening to music. It's become part of everybody's daily life. Like you see kids, they got one earbud in and they're walking down the street with their grandma. They're not paying attention to anything. Everybody's listening to music. I listen to music all day. I'm sure you do too. And why not put this one on and experience it, feel it? Maybe it will it'll make you think of something you've never thought of, or it will help you with something. I don't know. Maybe make you laugh, make you
The ti-
mad.
the titles are awesome, so at least they'll have that.
That's right.
And how about you, Sam?
I mean, yeah, to all the old fans, I think they know what they're in store for. Anyone new, it's if you like heavy doomy music, it's definitely up there for me. Like, not just because I played on it, but it's seriously something I'm proud of, and I think everyone's proud of, and we just want to share to the world.
Awesome. And I will let you guys let the audience know when it comes out, the name of the album, where they can listen to it and get a hold of it as well.
That's awesome. You should tell them to watch our new music video. It's 25 minutes long, and that one will either make you laugh or get you mad too.
And where can they find it and what's the name of it so I can link it below for them?
It's called Drug Addict, so it's the first song on the album, and it's on YouTube right now as we speak. And it's a 25-minute short film. So the first half of it's not music, and the other half is.
Awesome. And where can they buy the album when it comes out? And can you let them know like when it comes out and all of that fun stuff?
They can pre-order it now at our Bandcamp. Um, and it comes out July 24th, which is the day before my birthday, which is pretty cool. And I didn't even set that up like that.
Also,
And when it's out, it'll be on all the streaming services, and people can get it from our Bandcamp, or you can come see us at a show and get it from us because the album is it's pretty awesome. It's a nice little package.
and anything to add to that, Sam?
Yeah, we also have the erotic goth dad visualizer video on YouTube, and that's a pretty tripped out experience. Um, that's currently streaming on I think all platforms. And then yeah, the vinyl is field note journal style of medical anomalies, kind of pertaining to the theme of traditional addictions. Um, and I think we're all really happy with that. It was a real labor of love.
Well, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
And for anyone watching the interview, I'll put all the links below so you guys don't have to go searching. It's all in the description, so you can just do one click and you're right there. And I want to thank you both so much for taking your time for doing this interview as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And once it's up, I'll tag you guys on your socials so you can share it with your fans as well, and it'll be awesome.
New fans, old men, old women, come on down. We got
Everyone.
we got drink for everybody.